Holy shit fire, bud.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. And yes, it's been a very, very long time, but we're taking our little winter break. It's still not quite warm yet, but we got that little ripper over there. But let's get to the point of this video. As you can see,
so we got this heater.
Shut up. We got my car. If you saw the picture that I posted on my Instagram, you may see by the name of the video and such what's going on here today. But we already did most of the unboxing just to save you guys some time, but we went a little spicy on my car. If you remember in the video where I drove his car down the track, I hated him for it, and that's because I just spent a bunch of money, and now this car is going to be real freaking fast. So yeah, so we got the lethal performance fuel system right here, good for 1,000 horsepower. We got the Cobra Jet intake, 150 millimeter MAF housing, which should be good. It's not quite as big as Andy's, but it's bigger than the stock one, so it's nice and good and nice. It doesn't quite fit over his head, like if you remember in the videos that we did. Andy does not approve, but it's the best I could do. And we got this bad girl upgraded heat exchanger. If you want to take this, I can pull it out of the box real quick so they can get a better idea here. Ooh, that's a thick boy. That's real thick boy. We should have zero issues with IATs or anything in that nature, which also came with the dual fans for the heat exchanger, and it comes with the wiring and all that stuff. And we got 3.375 grip tech pulley for this bad unit. You know it's American if it's got an American flag on it, bud.
Oh shit, bud.
And I don't know if that'll pick it up or not, but the grip tech, they use like some sort of material on there to help it grip the belt better. It also has like, it's like etched, I guess you'd call it.
Yeah.
To help it grip the belt, but that's literally the smallest pulley I can go without going 10 rib. So it should be spicy, very spicy. And then we got our 1300cc injectors. That's just a bunch of pigtails, but 1300 cc's of America right there. Nope. Bigger than yours, damn it.
And then down here we've got the Corsa Extremes.
What? And then...
Oh, you're not going Corsa Extremes, bud?
No. It's already going to be way louder. I'm not crazy like you, and I don't want to put ridiculous on top of ridiculous.
That's the point, bud.
But the moment we've all been waiting for here is the gorgeous blower, right?
Yep.
She's not light, but I did go ahead and get her powder coated from Whipple to match the car, of course. That is a bad mamma jammer. And it's got the wrapping on it now, so it's kind of hard to, but you can kind of see the color. It's nice and bright orange to match. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting couple of days. Almost forgot, actually. If you see that box there, I'm not going to pull it out because it's way back there. I got a solid one-piece aluminum drive shaft for it, as well as a safety loop somewhere around here. So I've checked all the boxes that I can possibly think of to help this car do what it needs to do properly. And I'm sure there'll be more and more shit that I buy in the future, but it's this is just to get the car running and mostly safe.
It runs on Funyuns.
Basically. Funyuns and Coke. And that sounded a little weird, but that's not what I meant by that.
Don't tell everybody my diet.
But yeah, if you recall when we did his videos for his blower with the 2.9, each video was like an hour long, and we can look at the analytics, and it didn't work very well because who wants to watch, and no one wants to see every step by step by step.
That's true.
Entire install video into one video and just get the thing done. So yeah, that's everything. The car is going to be a little bit spicy. Don't quote me on this, but according to my dyno guy, it should be around 800, 850 I'm hoping for. We shall see. Stay tuned for that dyno video, but that's gonna be in a while. But we have 7 months to get this sucker done.
Can we do it?
I think we can.
Let's find out.
All right, guys, well, I think we're finally going to get started on this thing. Oh, but it came with zip ties, that's a good thing. We need zip ties. But yeah, we're gonna start ripping this car apart. We're gonna pull the directions out and hope to God we don't mess nothing up. But I figure we installed the 2.9 on his car with little to no issues. We had our hiccups, which we ran into today, but that's a story for another day. But yeah, we're gonna pull the directions out and figure out what we need to rip apart, and we'll be right back with you. All right, guys, we're back. As you can see, we're not very far. We basically disconnected the battery and the fuel system.
And we jacked it up.
And we jacked it up,
After
obviously.
going to Harbor Freight.
After going to Harbor Freight to get some jack stands because we had none. And had to use a scissor jack because that was our only option.
Yeah, because my nice jack is at home.
Yeah. So,
That's fine.
we're at the point where we're going to take this off, the splash shield. And we don't have a 7 mil. So, to Harbor Freight we go.
Yay!
So, we're going to go to Harbor Freight real quick, and then we'll bring you on once we actually get some actual work done.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we never actually ended up going to Harbor Freight. Graham came in clutch. She had both the weird sizes we needed, 5.5 and a 7. So I started getting this thing torn down, but we'll probably bring you guys back on here in a second once we get the bumper
In
out.
about 5 hours when we get
In about 5 hours.
Because we'll run into something else just to watch.
But it's all good, so see you then.
I like Funyuns, they're so good. Yum yum.
Anyway, as you can see, good old frickin' orange Stang is frickin' peeing. Got the bumper off, she's chilling over there. But yeah, we're just waiting for sucker to drain.
Is that pee or is that Funyun dip?
You can do that at your own risk, bud. I'm not telling you what to do. Alright! Alright, guys, we are back. And I don't know if I ever mentioned this on the channel. It's the reason why my car was sitting in a storage unit prior to bringing it here. Because I don't know if we touched base on this, but basically we flip-flopped. Me and Andy, I moved his car into my storage unit so he would have a safe place for his car. And my car's here, obviously, for the work. Well, the reason I wanted to put it into a storage unit is because it sat outside my parents' house and I saw evidence of critters. And let's just say we found said more evidence.
Holy shit fire, bud.
That's nasty.
There's shit down there. There's a freaking Jolly Rancher freaking wrapper. That's pretty cool. All sorts of insulation and crap they chewed up. It's real close to the intake ports on the cylinder head. So we're gonna go to Harbor Freight once again and hope to find one that doesn't cost $1 bajillion. Because we just need to suck up all this crap because we don't want to blow our shit up, you know? So
Yeah, that's
bad.
That's bad.
Like, I knew I had critters, but no wonder I couldn't run a damn 11, bud. I was being weighed down by all this frickin'
You're being laid down by a heap ton of shit.
yeah. So, but as you can see, we've gotten pretty far. It's basically ready, other than the fact we got to clean it all up. But
Yeah.
we're getting there, boys. For the first day, we're pretty happy.
With all the hiccups we had.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's only 7 o'clock.
Yeah, we still got plenty of time, so you never know how far we might get. But yeah, we're gonna head to Harbor Freight, and we'll let you know if we find anything that we can actually use that doesn't cost me an arm and dick. So yeah, we're gonna go hop in the truck right quick and go get this sucker figured out.
And we need to get more propane.
Oh yeah, our heater died, but it's, as you see, I'm in a t-shirt. Andy took his bigger jacket off, I think.
Yeah, my Milwaukee heated, even though the heater wasn't running on it.
But yeah,
it's not bad out
it's
here.
not bad at all.
For me, you guys know me, I get cold easily, so it's still a little bit too chilly for me to take off a sweatshirt, but
Yeah.
I'm one of those guys, if it's below 70 degrees, I'm cold, so. But it's noticeably different. It's like,
There's no breath
when
in
we
here.
first came in here, just talking, you would see.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was fucking horrible.
But we're gonna probably get some propane just so we don't lose all the heat that we gained,
Yeah.
and go to Harbor Freight as well, and then we'll see you guys soon after that. All right, guys, it's a little after midnight on day one. We are cleaning up. We actually got a good bit done. It may not look like it, but as you can see, we got this hose back on. All that's fine and dandy. We put this little coupler thingy back on there. Got both these hoses modified and hooked up. And yeah, she's looking pretty good, but yeah, that's about it. So it'll probably be a week or two, and then we'll start day 2. Again, same video for you guys. Trying to cut this down so it'll be not an hour-long video. Because who wants this? I mean, there are some people out there that watch stuff like that, but majority of the people aren't. And not only that, it would take us God knows how long. Actually, we do know how long because we did it once before. To make those videos part by part by part.
Yeah.
It just takes up a lot of time. So
And it hurts our feelings when
Yeah.
people don't watch.
yeah, spend all this time and then you get 4 views and you're like, oh, lit. But yeah, we're gonna clean up for the night, and probably part 2, which is again same video for you.
Yeah. Part 2 for us.
Part 2 for us. We're gonna be slapping this blower on it because if you look at the directions here, we got a couple wiring things to do.
Yeah, we're close. We actually got pretty damn far. I mean,
Tensioners.
really, like if you guys remember the other install
Fuel
videos,
rails.
we've got like all the extras. So we've
Yeah.
got like the extra coolant reservoir for the
Yeah.
intercooler. We've got the heat exchanger up front. We've got
Yeah.
some of the wiring stuff. And that's really it. I mean,
But like I said, I was just flipping through this, and this is the page where you're starting to set up the blower, filling it with fluid, putting all the seals and whatnot in it, and yeah. So we're very close. The fact that we got to 61, we're on page 27 of 62, but step 61, that's pretty damn good.
yeah.
Like I said, it seems like we didn't do that much, but there's a lot of little things in between here. Things you got to modify or change. All right, like I said, we're very close. It has gone for the majority pretty swimmingly, other than all the crap that we had to deal with in the morning.
But the install
But the install itself, we have gotten a lot more done, I think, personally, compared to when we did your car.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't remember day 1, to be honest with you.
well, I mean, just looking back at the videos compared to
Yeah.
this, I feel like part of that has to do with the fact that
We'd never done it before.
that, and we're not recording every aspect of it.
Yeah.
So we were able to spend more time wrenching and less time recording.
That's very true.
Which, depending on how this video does, we'll see.
Because we
may be good or bad.
We
but
did spend a lot of time recording. I do remember that.
yeah, for you guys it'll be the next clip, but we're gonna get cleaned up and get the hell home because we're both pooped. Our backs are killing us, and legs, knees, everything, eyeballs.
True.
So we're gonna get cleaned up, and we will see you in the next clip. What's up, guys? We're back, day 2 for us. But Andy, you want to tell them about the fun couple of hours we've had today off camera, because we were just doing some little things.
Find fun.
Burning on fire.
Oh, well, in that case. See this belt right here?
Little AC belt. Well, I cut the old one off on purpose because it was chewed up a little bit from the the things that were living in my engine.
And
so
in metric fuck ton hours, how long did it take us to put that belt on?
I don't know what that would elaborate to, but we were in there for at least 4 hours.
4 metric fuck ton hours.
3 hours later.
Finally doing something Whipple related, kind of. Spark plugs, which is why we were just having our little argument. Now I'm gonna get Andy. We're gonna get him on freaking camera being a dum dum.
I'm telling you, we put the podcast wrong side.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna show them how much of a dum dum you are.
Yeah, please do.
So we're gonna take this here spark plug socket, okay? We're gonna put that in there, slap her down that hole. What do you know? It doesn't turn on the spark plug. That's weird. It's like it's almost too big of a socket or something. That's really
the
weird.
First time I've had too big of a socket, man.
So we're gonna go ahead. We had to skip the step the last time we were here. What you guys probably just saw a couple clips ago.
Why did we skip that?
Because we didn't have a way to gap the plugs. You have to gap them to a certain thing. So I went and ordered this bad little mammer jammer. Ordered this spark plug gap tool. Because when we did it on Andy's, we just did that little good old tap method.
Tap,
which
tap, taparoo.
isn't the best idea on a race car, but you do what you do in a pinch. But
you know what we should do too? Take your old spark plugs, hit them with a hammer a little bit, and we should take some of these little like pieces, throw them at your windshield.
okay, we'll see you guys in a minute. All right, guys. Ignore the sound of my awesome speaker hooked up to Andy's phone.
We're looking up Taco Bell.
Yeah, see when it closes, because we're not super duper hungry yet, but at the same time we're like, yeah, we don't want to miss out. But anyway,
that one might be a 3 a.m.er, but I don't know if I trust it. We'll find out though.
But
it's only 7.
like we said, we got all that stuff figured out. We just got done with the spark plugs, got them gapped with that sick little tool. If I can give you any sort of, if you have one of these, that is.
It worked pretty well.
It did work very well, and it's $28 or so.
I think it was 26.
I don't know if that's shipped or not. It may have been like $32 shipped, but it comes with the feeler gauges too. But if I can give any word of advice to you about this tool, when you're using it, little by little, because you can go a little too far. I had to like try to bend it back out and try it again, but it worked really well. It only happened on 2 out of the 8 spark plugs, so I would highly recommend this. Just go on to Scamazon real quick and get you one of them. But finally, after hours and hours, it is currently 7:04. We can finally start on the Whipple stuff. So next step, because we just finished all this last week, is all the fun wiring stuff. So we're gonna get started on that, and once we probably get past the wiring, all that boring wiring stuff, we'll probably bring you guys back on once we're actually starting to set up the Whipple and whatnot. But yeah, from what I remember, it was the spark plugs, I think.
Yeah, we just gapped the spark plugs and got those put in.
So from there, we pulled out the fan relays and the IC, the intercooler harness. So basically that connects right there. And you see I tried to clean it up as best as I could. And they don't tell you to do this step right there, but the relays, they just told you to zip tie them, and I'm like, yeah.
I don't even know where mine is, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it just seemed kind of hack to me. So if you look, there's a bolt hiding in there. And I bolted them to an existing hole. Because I'm like, there's a hole in the fucking thing. Let's, I don't know, maybe mount it to something instead of zip ties. Like, that just seemed kind of
a lot
hack to me. So, and then after that, this is the actual wire that would connect to your pump. And it runs through here and under there. And we got it just sitting here for now until we're actually going to be mounting that. But we got, like I said, all that harness done, and the next step is we got to pull a couple bolts out. We're going to mount up our tensioner plate. So we're gonna get some of these like shiny bits bolted onto the car, and then we'll probably bring you guys back on. What do you say about that, brother? All right, guys, we got some more stuff done here. As you can see, the front is a lot more dressed than it was before. She was naked before, but so we got a tensioner that's probably billet aluminum down here. It's adjustable. There's no torque spec for it because I'm assuming we're probably going to have to adjust it once we actually get the blower on and put the belt on and whatnot. And we got some upgraded pulleys, and we got this plate on. This is the idler plate, and we got some nice billet aluminum idlers. These ones are, I don't know if I mentioned, are steel, just like they look just like the Ford factory ones.
Insert sheesh.
And then this bad unit of a freaking tensioner, I think it's personally better than Andy's. I don't think he's got one like this, but he thinks that he has one, but he's a liar, so we won't listen to him. But we won't talk about the fact that I had those pulleys and these pulleys flip-flopped. Well, we fixed it, is all that matters. But yeah, it's actually looking like we're getting somewhere if we just go over here. What is the next step, boys? It's prepping the frickin' blower, buddy. Because she is going on .com.
Well, then we got to do the fuel rails and all that.
Yeah, but that's part of the blower. You got to put them in the blower, so makes sense. So we're gonna prep this blower and hopefully get it ready to slap on this engine.
Might be.
I'm hoping, because I would really like to have some pictures to take to work to show all the freaking homies.
We can always set it in there. And
yeah. But I mean, it doesn't look like there's that much stuff to do to prep the blower, really. I mean, it's just filling it with fluid and adding lines and gaskets and shit.
Oh,
so
that was dirty.
Ignore Andy's toots, but toots that poot.
My toots only fart when I shit.
Toots only fart when I shit. Hey, if you guys want a shirt that says that, we got you.
My toots only fart when I shit.
But yeah, we're gonna prep this blower up and hopefully slap her on today.
We're gonna blower this prep up.
But yeah, I will see you guys in a second. Alright guys, we're back with another update. As you can see, we got our big boy intercooler in there. We got our intercooler pump and reservoir in with some coolant lines. We got the one up top, and you have to drill a hole through there. You can kind of see what's going on the back side there. I don't know if you can actually see that or not, but there's a little Y fitting. And then we got the bottom one running across. And as you can see with the directions, everything past what we just did is all stuff for hoses that go to the blower. And as you can see, the blower's still not on. Why is the blower not on? Because we are doing an aftermarket fuel system, and as you saw in the previous update when we first got here today, I think they're dash 8 lines connect at the back of the blower, and if it's bolted down, it'd be kind of a pain in the ass to hook all that shit up. So what we're going to do now, since we're so close to the finish line as far as the Whipple install goes, we're going to start with the fuel system. So that's why we got these bad little units from Harbor Freight coming out to match the ones for the front. We gotta jack this sucker up, pull the tank, or possibly just drain it from in the car. We haven't decided yet. And then we'll basically start running the fuel system, get the lines up here, and once the fuel system's done, we can bolt the blower down finally and basically just wrap it up from there. I mean, it's knocking on the door. It's like, hey, I'm here.
I don't want to be in the video. I'm shy.
Oh, okay. But ignore him. But yeah, that's the update for you. We're gonna get started jacking this sucker up and actually get some more stuff done today. So yeah. Alright guys, a little bit of update for you. As you can see, the freaking Whipple's on. And she's looking freaking sick. We got that 3.375 pulley on there. Injectors are plugged in, which was a cluster. I will never go with this brand injectors again, just saying. basically, I mean, I can't even remember what we last showed you. I mean, we got the... shut up. I always smack my head in that stupid thing. But we got the intercooler up front. All that stuff is set up. So Linda is torquing. She's very happy. Torquing down the lid, the supercharger lid, to the blower. We already torqued down the blower and put all the seals in it and stuff like that. So. And I helped.
I was emotional support.
So.
You're doing great.
Thanks.
So we're on the third bolt now. I just figured I'd pull it up, but yeah. So we are torquing that down, and then literally it's just setting up all the.
Tell them about our little adventure we had earlier.
Adventure.
The O-ring.
Oh yeah. I mean, no hate to anybody that's installed one of these kits before in like a lot, where they do it a lot, but coming from a mechanical standpoint, what?
Doing the face, the camera.
No, it's okay. My face is ugly. Coming from a mechanical standpoint, it is dumb, the fact that you have to cut an O-ring.
Yeah.
O-rings aren't meant to be cut.
Show them in the directions. So here, so we had to go through and do this part on the inside,
This up here. It's this giant, thick silicone tube.
Yeah.
Which is basically an O-ring.
And then here, install the supplied preformed O-ring. It did not look like that. It looked like this, but way bigger.
Yes.
And the first time we did it, it had maybe, what, that much extra?
Yeah.
Then we did it again, because we're like, something's not right. And then it had that much extra. So we did it again, and it had maybe that much extra. And then we're finally like, all right, what the fuck do we do? And we reached out to the guy that we know who does this stuff, and he said, yeah, you're supposed to trim it. Like, cut it to fit. And we're like,
Are you sure? Because if it leaks, that's not a good thing.
Cutting an O-ring. I could understand cutting this.
I felt like we hurt his feelings, because he was like, well, I've done 100+ of these. I'm like, I'm not doubting you, dude.
Right.
I'm not. I'm just saying, coming from my technician background,
it just doesn't make
you don't cut O-rings.
Right.
Like, it made zero sense to me.
Right.
But we cut it. We made sure it would seal. So I mean, and it'll flatten itself out when you tighten and torque it down. So.
But it was just weird.
But yeah, as you can see, we're torquing this down. So we just figured.
Hey, we're getting into the EVOP stuff.
Yeah, he likes to say EVOP instead of.
Okay, when we
Evap.
did my blower, it royally pissed him off when I said that. And I still don't know why, but he's not.
I don't even know why.
He's not letting it get to him now, and it's kind of annoying me.
Payback's a bitch. But
Sponsored by
Linda's gonna torque this sucker down, and we're gonna go to the next stop. So we shall see you in a little bit.
I'm gonna go inhale some brake clean.
Okay. All right, guys, we're back for. So now this will be the second time Nick spent a bunch of money on a part that I can't install. Not because it doesn't fit the car, but because it doesn't fit the car.
Valid.
Physically.
A lot.
But will fit eventually.
A lot.
Eventually.
Yeah.
So.
With more monies.
As you can see, we've gotten a lot further. We got the throttle booty on there. It's kind of just willy-nilly plugged in right now because I was making sure my wrench light turned back off. We got the EVOP on there, bud.
Good old EVOP.
Good old EVOP. All the lines for that are on.
It was a productive day, though. I bought a jump pack.
Yeah, I did buy a jump pack. It's not just a jump pack, but it's a freaking air compressor. Freaking power bank, probably, or something.
It's a 4-in-1. That means one. I only count 3.
You can see down here we got a hose on there that goes down and under to the other side, down yonder. And all the hoses going up to the top intercooler are on, and I mean, it may not seem like we got a lot done, but trust me, we got a lot done.
We did.
But
it took a lot of time to run that stuff.
Yes.
There's really not a whole lot of, just like when we did mine, there's really not a whole lot of direction with the hoses and stuff.
Yeah.
They kind of tell you like what connects to what, but then you have to route everything.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's kind of foolproof, but it's kind of not. You know what I mean? Like, it could go either way, but it took us a while to actually.
Yeah. So we were getting.
Not to mention the O-ring. That took a while.
Yeah, the O-ring thing was stupid, but. So we got to the point where all we had left was trying to figure out the coolant hoses that come down from that T down there. So we were waiting to do the rest of it because we were like, well, let's try to figure out this Cobra Jet intake. because
Figure out
I
how
got
you
that as
route
well. I think I showed you guys.
The
at the
reason we
beginning.
said that was because it said leave one of these loose,
Yeah.
so we could route it, and then we kind of had the idea, hey, this is the next step. Let's go ahead and get this on, retrofit everything, and then we can determine how to run stuff.
Yeah. Well, now I wish I kind of would have left the Cobra Jet in there so you could see our problem, but you'll get the point. So
It comes down to about here.
yeah, and you still have to attach the 150 millimeter map housing, which is like yay long, and then there's a filter that goes below that, and that's in the way.
And that's in the way.
But
And that's in the way.
on Lethal's website, I mean, I have had nothing but good things to say about Lethal. I'm not blaming it on them, but they probably should have put something in there that said, hey, it's not going to work because of this reason. And they said in the video that you have to remove one of the horns to make it work, and it may interfere with the tank for the cooling for the blower. I was like, okay, well, we'll figure it out when we get there, and that's not even going to be coming close to working. So unfortunately, I ain't going to be able to run the Cobra Jet right now. The only way to make it work is to literally run an expansion tank in the trunk and run all that ice box. Yeah. So it will happen, just not right now. Not for the first getting the car dynoed and all that, unfortunately, which I was really looking forward to because it was huge and it was going to make all the hearse purrs, which it'll probably still do fine, but it's just not going to be as spicy as I was hoping it was going to be.
That intake that comes with this kit's a hell of a lot better.
Oh yeah, it's definitely way better than the one that came with the 2.9.
Miles.
Yeah.
Mine looks like it's from the Stone Age, and yours looks like it's from the 21st century.
Yeah. But it is what it is. I'll cross that bridge when we come to it. It's just not a price, or it is a pricey kit to get that ice tank.
And not to mention, who knows if it's even going to be worth it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That might be a lot more maintenance and more problems could happen with that.
Yeah, I mean, but I already spent the $500 on the intake.
It's just more research
But
we got to do.
yeah, I'm just have to look into it and see what it's realistically going to do.
Pros and cons.
Pros and cons. And if it's not worth it, then maybe I'll just hang on to it for something. I don't know.
Who knows? Maybe PMAS will do another R&D. And you can get
End up with a free intake.
You can get a
when
whale
the dude
penis.
gets fired.
You can get a whale penis too.
But yeah, so that's where we're at. I'm not feeling quite as defeated as we were that one day.
Oh, that was bad.
This is just a little slap on the wrist in comparison to that, but as you can see, we're actually getting something done at least. The blower's mounted to the car.
I mean, 98% of the whipple stuff is
Yeah, we literally have...
If once we put the intake on, we got to run like 3 or 4 more things and it's done. And then
Yeah,
we
it's
just
the
have to
intake,
fuse it.
throwing a couple coolant lines on, and it's just basic stuff that we had to remove to put the blower on. Like there's a K member, I think it's K-brace is what they called it.
Yeah.
A K-brace that you have to take off, and just basic shit. And then we'll do the fuel system and we'll be ready to rip. Minus the tune, obviously, but
Right.
yeah. So I think that's where we're gonna end it off here for today. We will see you the next time we're out here. But
We got a lot of cleanup to do and it's 18 degrees outside, so
yeah.
as
So
you can tell by our faces, our eyes are probably bloodshot red from inhaling
Yeah.
propane all day, but
Yeah, it's fine.
we're warm-ish. It's better than out there.
Yeah, we went out there to get some more propane earlier. We're like, oh god, okay, this sucks.
Today, let's put it this way. Today's the kind of day that honestly, if we didn't have this, we probably wouldn't be out here working.
Yeah.
Being brutally honest, we
Yeah.
probably wouldn't be.
But without further ado, we will see you on the next episode of Nick Probably Should Have Just Went Turbo, and we'll see you guys then.
Happy birthday to you. Ooh.
What is wrong with you?
Happy birthday to you. Ooh.
42!
Not even close.
42!
One more year.
I'm cutting this out of the video.
No.
39!
39? That's still not close.
You're old as fuck!
That's rude as shit.
But
How old are
true!
you?
29.
See, old as fuck!
Not 42, not 39. How did I miss from this far?
You tried to throw it like a throwing card.
The shit that goes on behind the scenes. He's not even. That's not even red.
Come on, bold charge.
Not a bold. Just because I'm a big body bitch doesn't mean I'm gonna be run. I mean, it's not red.
Don't care. It's yellow, like a yellow jacket. You're trying to kill it. I don't like the slow walking. I prefer bomb rushing. I'm not a fan of this.
Andy, how are we enjoying installing this fucking blower?
My doctor would say my heart has problems. I think I about just had a stroke.
Yeah.
You want to show him why?
So, I can't even remember. It's been probably a month since we touched this thing, since we last picked up the camera for this
As you
video.
can tell, it's warm outside.
Yeah, it's nice outside. I ain't got the freaking blower out at all. But, yeah, as you can see, we've gotten a good bit of stuff done, but we get this in here, and we're like, where the hell does this hose connect?
How long did we spend trying to...
A good bit of time, and
20 minutes.
and then we texted Anthony, the guy I got the kit off of, the same guy he got his kit off of. What? The light? Oh. Well, text him about it, and he's like, you gotta take the blower off in order to get to it. And I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, bro. You know how long that would take? I was like, hell no, there's no way. And I was looking, and if you look down that hole, I don't know if you can actually see it or not. I'm not sure if I'm even kind of see it. Yeah, right there.
Little black piece.
Little black piece sticking off. That's where it's supposed to go. And he said we would take the whole blower off. So my plan is I'm just gonna Good job. Good job. he blinded himself with the flashlight. We're just gonna take the EVOP stuff off. EVOP.
But let's backtrack once. Nowhere
Did it say to attach?
before we put the blower on or any of that shit, nowhere did it say to do that.
Are you dumb? And it says it right there.
It's right there.
We need to.
How did we skip that?
We need to learn how to read.
How did we miss that? That was like before we even had the blower on, or that was like the first couple steps of the.
Yeah, we're retarded.
Anyway, so yeah, so that's the update. We're gonna get some food and then
Maybe kill ourselves.
yeah, we'll come back and throw that on, throw the intake on, and then it's ready for coolant.
Horsey has a cock.
That's not where. No, I guess that is kind of where horse cock.
I mean, technically, it's.
Go.
I guess under here, but
Yeah, but it won't stick because it's aluminum. Huh?
I know. I just wanted to make a
It
horse
didn't get
cock.
pressed back in. I got angry at work and threw it.
I'm sorry.
It's a stout unit though. Like it won't break. Like
Yeah,
if
that piece can go fuck
Do
itself.
not throw it off.
Oh, I'm not going to. You see how I epoxied my magnet back in there?
Oh yeah.
You think that's pretty cool, guys?
Yeah.
And I lost the magnet because it went flying. I don't know why I'm still recording.
Because we're stupid. that light can go fuck itself. Remember, that's the one we lost underneath of my passenger seat
yeah.
for. Or no, was that one?
Linda's not happy with me. Anyway, we're hungry. We're gonna get some food, and we'll give you an update once we actually go to fill the sucker with coolant.
Fuck you, bitch.
And then after that, all we'll have to do is the fuel system, which probably won't be today. Maybe we'll start on some little stuff of it, but I'm not gonna probably run any like majority of the hoses down yet. But yeah, so we're gonna leave you off here and ignore this crackhead energy man over here. And
Well, haven't you seen people do
we'll
that
be
on-
back in a minute. All right, we'll see you later. All right, guys. Well, we finally got the whipple done.
Yay!
But guess what? There's more work. Yay! So it's basically done.
Happy birthday!
We were going. Thanks.
Yeah.
We were going to basically fill the coolant up, or refill the coolant, blower coolant, which is the same coolant as the engine coolant. But regardless, we were going to fill it up. But I thought about it and still got to put this heater hose in to a hole that's in the head down there.
You have a
Which
hole in your
luckily,
head.
shut up. Which we can reach luckily, but not until we do the fuel system, because as you can see on this easy one to see right there and right there, we still got to hook that up. And I don't want to chance fighting with it trying to get that in there just to have to take it back off again. So we're gonna wait to do that until we get like the fuel system components done up here. But literally all we have left to do to get this car done is the fuel system. Basically button up the little thing for the coolant, fill it with coolant. Then, since it's already up in the air, we'll probably put the drive shaft in. He's tooting over there.
Roosters, man.
Put the drive shaft in and the safety loop, and then it'll be ready for a tune. So we're gonna go ahead, and we probably won't get too far in the fuel system today. I was telling Andy earlier, I think we'll just pull the hat out of the tank and then set up the new one to put in there, get it in there, and then see what time it is. If it's going on 5:30 by then we'll probably just wrap it up, because I gotta be over at the Mexicano restaurant for my birthday dinner.
So, I gotta mow.
He's gotta mow the grass at Graham's house, because he's just a great grandson. He's so nice. Yeah. But we're ecstatic.
Can we get copyrighted for that?
What? You. Oh, let's hope not. Let us know if you know what that's from.
You.
So, yeah, without further ado, we're going to quit yabbing and try to get some work done here. So
I'm shutting up. I'm dead. Why?
Yeah.
This guy.
Smacked you too. Alright guys, we're back. As you can see, we've gotten a little further. I mean, we have the fuel rail out on that side. We just had it out on this side because it's my fault, but it's also not my fault. The fuel system didn't come with any sort of directions or diagrams or anything. I was just going off of what I had on the website.
But they're available online.
Which is not this one. It's actually this one. It's basically just on the listing. It's like a basic diagram. Well, I went after we got nowhere the last time I was here, when it was my birthday on the 15th.
We got somewhere.
We got somewhere, but
we got the hat.
Yeah, we got the hat in, and we ran the return line. But we were having issues when it came to the feed line, so I was like, let me see if there's like an install doc or something in the listing on the website.
Yeah.
And there was, and it's basically like the same diagram, but I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's part numbers for all the fittings, there's lengths of all the lines, so you know what line goes where. And I was like, God damn it, why didn't I see this before?
That's what we've been looking for.
So, as you can see, it's not really mounted, it's just kind of sitting there. This probably won't be the final destination for this thing, but they say you're supposed to hook it up to the tower, but I can't see how the hell that's going to happen without a bracket of some sort.
Maybe we have one and we're just missing it. Or like
we measured the lines and we know we're using the right ones, the ones that make the most sense. So we got the regulator up, I got the rail back in, I moved the gauge off of the rail over to here. The reason I moved it is because once we get it running, we have to set the fuel pressure to an appropriate setting at the regulator. You need to see what it's at the regulator, not at the rail, from what I've seen online.
That's fair.
So that's why I moved it, because the pressure at the rail is going to be a little different than what it's at directly where you're trying to adjust it at the...
We're almost going to have to like put a phone down here and read it backwards.
Yeah. I mean, you can see it from this side, but...
Oh, you can?
Yeah. And again, it's not going to be 100% the place where I put it. And you never know. Maybe I'll decide to buy some longer lines in the future, and we can make them to how we want it to be, because this is set to work for this setup, but we've run into issues like this. If this was like another inch or two longer, we wouldn't have any problem. We could mount it right up where we want it to, but for now, we got all the fittings on it. I got all the fittings on the Y block right here, and then so all the fittings are present and accounted for as of now. All we have to do is run all the lines, and then we will do the box, which is over there. That's what they call it, the box. It's basically a plug-and-play system for all the pumps. It's all the electronics, essentially, for the fuel system. So, that's basically where we're at. I'm going to finish like plugging all the injectors and stuff back in, because we just got done putting that back. And then I'll put the purge valve back on. And then we'll go from there.
I'm going to chisel all the paint off this.
Please don't. Alright guys, a little update. The entire fuel system is almost done. I'm probably going to throw another bolt in this because it doesn't want to... These self-tappers aren't great. And there's only one hole in it, but I think I'm going to drill another one. so it'll sit straight, because it bothers me that it's cockeyed and it's not sitting like that. So,
He said cock.
but all we have left for the fuel system is one line that goes on the end of this Y. Then that will go to a fuel filter. And then another line will attach to that, and that will go up to the tank. So that'll be our full feed line. We got this coolant line back in, but unfortunately it is leaking. We tried putting coolant in this thing, and well, we're gonna try to put coolant in it, but it didn't actually get there because it wouldn't hold pressure because it's pissing out of there. So I don't know if we nicked the O-ring that seals that or not, but I'll probably just get one just to be on the safe side, and then we're gonna have to deal with trying to dick around getting that thing out of there. So the only issue we have is with that, and that's not really an issue. We just got to run the lines. So then we'll button it up under the car because it's all hanging kind of low down there. But once that's there, all we have left to do is the electronics for the fuel system, that box kit that I got, all plug and play and fancy shit. So, and then we'll finally be ready to get a bass tune in this thing and fire it up for the first time. So yeah, that's basically it. We're gonna get the heck out of here because Andy's got a hot date, and we will see you when we're back the next time. So yeah, what do you think, Andy?
Fuck you.
Oh, okay. Well, we're back, and as you can see, it looks completely done.
Didn't blow up yet.
You want to know why? Not that, why did it blow up? It's because I came here a lot without Andy and without the camera, and I knocked a bunch of shit out.
You knocked out all the hard shit.
Yeah. So the fuel system's completely done and plumbed. The wiring for said fuel system is done and plumbed. So you turn the key on, it primes the pumps, the pumps,
The pumps. It primes
the pumps, and
Pumps the
everything's good to go. And I fixed that coolant issue. We extended it and put that new tube in there. Got coolant in the motor. We just got done putting coolant in the blower side.
How much did it take?
Like almost 6.
About 5 3/4 gallons.
Yeah, it's a good bit, but I mean, I am running a giant heat exchanger and
I saw that.
all that. So
I saw that.
that's all that. I don't know what you're talking about.
Why don't you show the camera?
I whack my head into that thing like almost every time we come over here.
Hence why there's a pool needle.
Yeah.
A noodle, a pool.
But yeah, that's all good to go. Only thing we have left to do mechanically is to put the bumper and the fender liners back on. But we're not going to touch that today because we're putting the drive shaft in.
Yep.
In the safety loop. But we figured we'd get this on camera now that we're finally done under the hood. We're going to peel.
Nick said he's going to hold the camera and he's going to let me.
No, it's mine. I want to pull it. God, let me have this.
Can I at least peel up the corner?
You already peeled up the corner. You peeled it up like 6 times.
But I put it back down.
That is a shiny bitch, I tell you what.
I'm gonna laugh so hard.
Pulls all the paint off.
Peels the paint.
That'd be some shit.
I'm gonna laugh.
It's looking good thus far.
No, get the other one off. The
Hush your tits.
Hey, the 5 people watching this are waiting.
That is so fucking true. It's so sad. I don't even care. Like, I just do it at this point just because it's fun. But it's really annoying.
Okay, now shut up. Let's do ASMR.
Okay.
I'm dying on the inside.
That shit is fun.
I helped. That looks good with the black emblems on there. They can can see the fucking craters on my face. Calm down. What do you think? It looks pretty damn good, right? Grab this.
Yeah, now you need to get the rest of your car repainted underneath here to match it.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, that's Harley orange, that's why. But, I mean, it looks close enough.
No, this is dull as shit. And that's shiny.
Shh.
And this is dull as shit. And this is dull as shit. And this is dull as shit.
Shh. You don't have to tell. You don't have to tell anybody about what's gonna happen.
Okay.
All right. Well, we're gonna get started on getting the exhaust off and all that stuff to get the drive shaft in and the safety loop in, and then we're literally done. And then we're just waiting on the tune. So, no start yet. I still have to wait for my base tune. I don't know if I explained that just yet.
It'll be about 3 years till we get it.
Well, let's hope not.
It'll be about 3 years.
He's a busy guy, so I'm not blaming him.
Or 7 months. It won't be running by Mustang.
He always hooks me up. Shut your whore mouth. He always hooks a brother up. That's all I have to say about it. But once we get to that point, it's going to be spicy. Just real spicy. But, yeah, we're going to try to figure out this stuff out, and we'll let you know what's going on.
We got so much room for activities.
Wham! The table's gone. What does that mean? It means we're fucking done. Basically. Ish.
Yeah!
So, we got the drive shaft in. We couldn't put the safety loop in because it was hitting on the rear O2s, which I'm fairly certain when it comes to tuning, you don't use them. And I'm pretty sure because one of the wires I noticed was broken on one of them, and if it was broken, it would be setting a light. And the rear O2s, I believe, are not used. So I'm going to talk to my tuner and see if I can just delete those and go from there. And then I can throw the safety loop in. But the drive shaft is in. As you can see, we got the lowrider exhaust right now because can't put it back in because it's really this closer one right here. If you take a looky there, it's a little fuckered up. So this is the brace that goes around your transmission for a Barton Hybrid 3. And mine's a little old. I probably had this, that was the first mod I did to this thing back in like 2017. So she's a little wore out. She was rode hard and put away wet, if you will. So
she was rode hard and put away dry as shit.
So
dry and chafing.
I already contacted Barton a while ago, and they needed pictures, and I just never got around to it. So I'm gonna send those pictures, and because they were trying to figure out which ones I needed, the seals. But I'm gonna take them to work, or one of them. That's why one of them was missing. I put it in my truck. But I'm gonna take it to work. We have a big O-ring kit, and I think that might be able to get me by. Andy doesn't seem very confident in that, but
I was just playing with my hair.
Oh, okay.
It felt good.
But yeah, we're gonna see if we can get that rolling. If not, we'll just throw them in as is. It doesn't really matter, as long as it's holding the shifter up is all I really give a shit about. But we got next door, we got a freaking old school Cobra pulling out. Do a burnout.
That's a Mustang, man. Come on. He's trying to get $40 out of my pocket.
I like the wheels on that.
I do too.
He must have polished those suckers. That sucker looks good. Aww. Sounds pretty good. What's up, guys? We're finally back. It's been probably a week or so since we last recorded. But last you saw, we were putting the drive shaft in and all that stuff. I apologize for my voice if it sounds any different. I think I have a sinus infection or something. But it's been a very stressful couple of days, to say the least. So, long story short, I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but we were trying to get the car tuned, or a base tune put on my device so we could do it over at Graham's, but found out that wasn't something that was going to be possible, so I had to tow it over to my dyno shop. My buddy Dyno Brian down at Tune Motorsports. So last Thursday of last week, it is now Monday, the 22nd of May. So last Thursday we dropped it over there. We had a couple little issues with the fuel leak, figured that out. Had another issue with the fuel system because I'm a dummy and forgot to put the plug in the fuel hat that would basically block off the hole where the third pump would go, since I'm only running 2 pumps, so it wouldn't build fuel pressure. Got that figured out. And now the car is doing something I never would have expected it to do. For a car that I've ripped on since I fucking owned it multiple times at the drag strip, just giving it everything it's got and not even missing a beat. It just does not care. For a car that I parked like 4 months ago into Graham's garage to start this whole process, there's nothing, we didn't do anything to the motor internally. The thing drove completely fine. And I'm sure some of you can already kind of tell where I'm going with this, but I'm hoping we can figure it out and it's just something stupid. But for some reason, when we got the tune in it and the fuel system was good and we went to start it, it was knocking slightly at first. And we're like, what the fuck? And then it went away. And then the longer it ran and the more times we would start it, the worse it got, to where it was doing it almost consistently. And it just sounded so bad I had to shut it off because I just didn't want it to fucking kill itself. But it's not coming from the top of the motor, it's not coming from the sides, it's coming from the direct front, like where the timing components are. And I have billet oil pump gears and a crank sprocket, billet MMR chain guides, upgraded timing chain, what's it called? Tensioners. I have everything that I could have ever thought to do to make sure that timing set is always going to be legit. And it's acting like this. And the only thing that may not make sense, because I know I work at a dealer, I see it all the time, and I've seen multiple people online as well do it, but some of these cars come out of the factory that run 5W50. Mine does not. But when we were cleaning up all the boxes to throw all that shit away a couple weeks ago over at Graham's, I found a little baggie that had a sticker in it that said 5W50. And I assumed that was for the engine oil. Now I'm thinking maybe, I'd have to look at the directions, I still haven't, but I'm thinking maybe that was for the blower oil, maybe? I don't know, but again, you might know where I'm going with this. I put 5W50 in it, and that was the only thing, I guess if you want to call it internal, that's the only thing I did internally to that engine from the time that we parked it to now. There's no reason why this engine should be knocking. None. When we took the intake off, yeah, we saw all those fucking, the rat's nest under there with all the foam insulation and the regular insulation that was all chewed up. Yeah, I took a vacuum to that bitch. I blew compressed air in the fucking cylinder heads, the ports, and everything. I saw shit fly out of it. I went down there with a flashlight, couldn't see shit. There's nothing in there anymore. So it's not like it ingested a bunch of bullshit. And not to mention, the only stuff that was down there was soft. So even if something halfway decently sized made it down there, it's foam. It's not gonna fucking break the goddamn engine to bits. Like, it's not gonna fucking put a bolt in the middle of my fucking piston. There's no bolt to be put there. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'm getting the car towed hopefully today, worst case tomorrow, to Krieger, so I can get it on a lift. And I'm thinking of just changing the oil out and putting the 5W20 or 5W30 in it. And I know, like I said, it may sound stupid because there's plenty of cars out there that run it and people that change to that, but the only thing that makes sense is that, because I know when it comes to those VCT systems with the solenoids and the VCTs themselves, it's all oil controlled. And if that oil, for some reason, with my car, just doesn't like it and it's too thick, it ain't gonna work properly, and those fucking VCTs are gonna be knocking around like a motherfucker. So that's the only thing I can figure. If it's not that, then it's not that. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. My buddy Chris from work, it's just our engine guy, said he'd help me out with it. So yeah, it doesn't make much sense. I was really hoping to get this car done for Mustang Week. If it is something simple and stupid, it still will be. But if it's actual damage to the engine, there's no telling. I have no idea how long this journey is going to take me for. So yeah, so that's the update. Hopefully the next time I turn on this fucking camera, I'll have some better news for you. But yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next clip. Alright guys, well, it's actually the same day, and I'm sure as you can tell, I am much happier. So I figured out where all the shitty noises were coming from. I'll probably put a clip in, probably right here. Of the noise, because I took a video on my phone, so I don't know if the quality will suffer or not, but I'll put that in there, and then I'll put the next clip of it running right here. That sounds a lot better. But yeah, we fixed it. So I went over there, changed the oil, and it didn't make a damn bit of difference. And I'm sure a lot of you could probably call that. It still sounded like a bag of dicks when you're starting it. It's just like just all these fucking bad motor noises. And I was like, what the fuck, man? But luckily, one of Dino Brian's buddies, a fellow tuner, was there. Ignore that. And he was like, do you think there's any possibility that you got, or just something is wedged, possibly like a piece of belt or a bolt or something between the crank pulley and the front cover of the engine? And I was like, I mean, I suppose anything's possible, but I don't think so. He's like, well, just hop under there and take a look. So I crawled under the car, because at this point it was already up on jack stands. And sure as shit, this little motherfucker right here, this little motherfucker, whoop, shit, was wedged between the crank pulley and the timing cover. And I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. All this over a fucking bolt that was just wedged somewhere. Like, it legit sounded like the bitch was fucking knocking, and I'm sure you can hear that in the video. So I don't know how the fuck that caused that, but whatever. Took the bolt out, started it up, and it sounds golden, which I've already put that in there. But yeah, she's good to go. So Dyno Day is going to be the next video, and it is Wednesday. It is Monday, the 22nd, I believe I said. Yeah. So the 24th of this week, we're gonna be heading over there, giving her a good old ripskis on the 3.875 pulley, which I'm not 100% on the boost level on that. I want to say it's probably like between 8 to 10 pounds. Don't quote me on that. And that'll be on the 93 octane, and we'll see what she does. And then after that's all said and done, if there is still too much 93 in it, we'll probably drain out the 93, put the 85 in there, switch over to the 3.375 pulley, which I believe from what I've seen online is like 15 and a half, 16 pounds of boost. So it's a good bit more. For reference, Andy's is on a 3.5 pulley, and I think his is like 13 or 14 PSI. The difference is I have a full return style fuel system with dual pumps and big ass injectors and all that shit. So she's a spicy little meatball, or at least she will be. So stay tuned for that. I'm sorry this video was all over the place. It's literally a span of 4 months in the making that this car was being put together. But please forgive that, but I didn't want to do like a full step-by-step install because typically it just doesn't do good enough. Like we'll get like fucking 14 views, and I know that's not what it's about, but at the same time I can understand it because it's hard to cut and chop fucking hours upon hours upon hours of footage down to something that doesn't end up being an hour plus. So I think this will get the gist and the point where you're like, okay, this is kind of cool, this is what's happening, get to the point, boom. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. Stay tuned for the next one where we hop on the dyno and see what the hell the sucker does. But until next time, we'll see you in the next video. Peace.